Hey everyone, my name is Taylor and I'm very excited to be in this class with you guys. To start out, before I get into my study, I would just like to point out that this is really interesting, and also my cat is in my lap right now. I'm hoping she won't be too big of a distraction, but just in case she is, here she is. But anyways, the article or the study that I have chosen to do for this semester for our class discussions is called Factors Influencing the Length of Maternal Care in Brown Bears and its Effect on Offspring. So I think that maternal care and honestly parental care in general is something that's really interesting to me. So I was very excited to find this article. And these two are the authors. So to start out, just to give a brief overview of who wrote this in the beginning, are two men. Their names are Bjorn Dahl. Here's my other cat. Oh my gosh. So sorry, guys. And John Swenson. They both are from Norway, and they both are currently in Norway. Our friend Bjorn is teaching at the Norwegian University of Life Sciences, and he's got many publications pertaining to behavioral ecology, which I thought was really interesting. And he also is currently an employee at the Beekeepers Association. He's a senior advisor there, and I thought that was also very interesting. And he's got 95 publications so far. John, on the other hand, is currently teaching at the Norwegian Institute for Nature Research, and he's been there for over 20 years. He's been there for quite a long time, and while he's been there, he's had 471 publications, and most of those have been related to bears, which I thought was really interesting. And so this study takes place in the southwestern part of Sweden. On this map over here, you can kind of see the county is in that light blue, the pretty color up at the top. And these other two are just pictures of what the environment kind of looks like. So just based on how pretty the landscaping is, it does seem like a really great place for bears to live. So I just wanted to include that. And then the species involved in this study, we're only specifically looking at brown bears. This is Ursus arctos. Again, I'm not great with pronunciation, but they're just super cute bears. I know it's like a running joke to like not hug the bear even though they're cute, but I think that these guys are a really interesting species. And to attest to that, they actually have a very, very wide range of where they live. So if you see on here, the orange is where they currently, I know you can't see the key because of where my head is at, but the orange is their scope. So they are quite vast of an area for these guys to be. And they are not only in parts of Europe, but they're also like brown bears here in America. Some other background information that is important to know about my study is that brown bears' reproductive rates can actually directly be influenced by the length of time that the cub spends with its mom. So the length of time that it's with its mom, learning activities, that kind of thing, can actually directly impact how it is able to reproduce later on in its life, which I thought was really interesting and good to know before reading this study. Also, cub size can determine the amount of time spent with mothers. For example, if a mom has 3 smaller cubs at birth, then she will spend a longer time with them because they might need a little bit more care than, say, 1 cub that was born at a very large size. And so that also brings me to my next point, which is that litter size also influences these factors. Just some general background information that's good to know. And then understanding all of these factors can allow us to better understand the species and their own reproductive success rates, which is a big part of what this study is looking at, especially when it comes to maternal care. Some similar studies that have taken place that are a little bit different. I haven't been able to find any studies that are the same. I will say it is important to note this study came out in 2003. I've been very graciously allowed to work on this study just because it is so interesting. So thank you, Dr. Langlois. But I haven't been able to find an exact copy of this study so far. I have found some similar ones. Of course, there have been other studies on brown bears. such as a hibernation study that looked at hibernation habitats affecting maternal care. So how long the length of hibernation can end up affecting how long the cubs are with their moms. That's the first bullet point I've got here. And then another study that looked at maternal care and similar methods to the study that I'm interested in was actually done with African elephants and its effects on how long an elephant baby would be with its mom. And then another one that I just thought was interesting and a good thing to point out was a proximity to humans study, which looked at how bears were associated with longer maternal care if they were closer to humans. So I thought that was really interesting. And there have been similar studies conducted to this one, but none have really been the exact same. And so to follow up with that, the importance of this study, it's allowing us to get a better understanding of offspring and its behavior and how that affects reproduction down the road. It also explains the correlation between offspring and how long they're with their moms. And if we are understanding more about the species, we can protect them in better ways. I feel like anytime we're able to learn about a species, we can better understand how we can conserve them for longer. And then just understanding how brown bears interact can allow us to understand not only them, but members of their habitats and ecosystems, even if they're not the same species. And so why did I choose this paper? Mostly because I've always loved bears. There's just something about them. I think they're really interesting. And another thing is that brown bears are very common in many places. If you travel to, honestly, bears in general are common, but if you travel to other places, they're not necessarily in the South, but they are in a pretty large part of America. And I thought that this study in particular was very interesting and unique research. I think it was ahead of its time. And I also have just a general interest in behavioral ecology. So that's why I decided to go ahead and go with this paper. And I thought it did a really nice job of overviewing maternal care, which is my chosen topic for the class discussion. And here are my references links. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching.